What's up, y'all? Back again. Got another project called Operation Rescue Ranger. This is a black 98 Ford Ranger single cab that I spent about 3 years rebuilding and reworking. My wife was involved in an accident at the front of our neighborhood where she was turning left into it, and someone who was at the stop sign failed to yield to her inbound and hit the driver's side wheel, and spindle broke a lot of stuff in there. So now that the insurance has claimed it a total loss, coming through and doing some repairs to it to get it back on the road with a rebuilt title. So it's a 98 Ranger. Doesn't need to, you know, it's okay that it's got a rebuilt title. So let me show you what we got working with. I've got it all tore apart now and cleaned everything with purple power, so all the grease and everything's been removed, but tore the whole front end apart. So let me show you what we got. So underneath here we got the whole suspension out, all lower control arms, upper control arms, coil spring, everything's been removed. As you can see from the side, completely bare. Those are all the mounts for the lower control arms down there. I've cleaned out all that. Shock's gone and everything. So the body damage is right here on the fender, front fender. You can see right here and down on this lower piece that it was smashed in. Kind of matches the rest of the body work, but I'll get all this pulled out. I'm going to take this piece off and this inner fender liner here, and I'll push all this back out from the inside to make this seam right here nice and good. There's a little bit of damage up here on the hood fender line. As you can see, it's kind of popped open right there, as it should be, you know, kind of nice and crisp line. So I'll take and bump this inner support back over, you know, meshing those two lines together. I've got all new lower control arms, upper control arms, brakes, wheel bearings, seals, everything ready to go back in for this whole side. But I'm going to take all this apart right here and bump all this back out first and put back on this splash guard, put back in the fender liner, and then insert all my pieces back in. Original Ford factory shocks from 98, so obviously they weren't doing any dampening. Brakes were in half decent condition. I've got a new set I'll throw in there. So this is the top part of the spindle that was broken. As you can see, it just made a clear snap right here on it. I'll actually take this piece with us. Over here there's some tools in the coil spring. But so what happened was the spindle should look like this one right here, where it's a full piece. This is where your rotor and all your wheel bearings go. So this is the center point. This is your tie rod ends, and then you have a lower ball joint, upper ball joint connection up here. So I've got some new seals and things for the bottom. I'll kind of resurface this rotor just a little bit once I throw the new brake pads on. This is the old spindle right here, so you can see, you know, on the back side here, this whole piece was supposed to be attached like that, but obviously it's broken, so that's where the impact was. And then also the lower control arm suffered some damage where it bent the actual piece. So this is a brand new lower control arm with ball joint, and on the one that was in there, this whole piece right here was folded to the inside like this. So that's where it took the majority of the damage. So I'll be putting it back with this new lower control arm and this new upper control arm right here. So it'll have all new parts, and I have new shocks, as well as some brake clips and something else coming in. But yep, gonna put all this together and then I'll get back on the Mazda. But Operation Rescue Rangers in full swing. This is day 2. Took it all apart yesterday, so get it all put back together today. As you can see, kind of when he hit me, or he hit the wife, kind of scrubbed up the wheel a little bit, but these Mickey Thompsons took it like a champ. So I'll do a little bit of resurfacing on him and clean him up. But no bends, no no nothing. And then when the tire went into the suspension here, it kind of rubbed along as we tried to move it out the road on this backside, but no rips, no tears on the tire itself. So we're gonna send that and probably put it on the rear for a little rotation, but get all these parts put back in today and I'll show you the progress. So back at the action, we got a lot done today before the downpour of rain. Sheets and sheets of it. As you can see, we're a little bit rained out. We're in a holding pattern. But got the spindle all rebuilt, the new one, all new wheel bearings inside of it, brake parts all fixed. Already got the lower control arm on, so he's hanging in strong down there. Away from the rain for a minute. And painted the whole frame. Got all this side pretty much knocked out for the most part. I can open that door right there. So not too bad on the fender gap line. A little bit more to work out right there, but not too bad for a couple beats and bangs. But in a little bit of a holding pattern. It's coming down. Alright, we'll check back in when we get it all back together. Just got the upper control arm and the coil spring, and it's drivable, well, when the rain stops.